Ladies and gentlemen of the HR community, a big thank you from all the organizations for doing such a commendable job, because you are managing the most volatile resource, I would say. So a huge round of applause for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And we would like to start off the summit by inviting the Director, Human Resources at Vodafone, and he's going to be delivering the special address. So ladies and gentlemen, please get your hands together for the special address, Mr. Suvamoy Roy Chowdhury, Director, HR, Vodafone.
Good evening. It's almost reckless to come and stand here in front of so many senior colleagues from the profession. I see manufacturing coming back in a big way. We missed the bus the last time when manufacturing came to Asia. I guess we have a second opportunity, and I guess we are a little better prepared, and we are a little more aware of the imperative of inviting manufacturing back. While services continues to grow, it is manufacturing that has the capacity to absorb large swaths of middle-of-the-road skills, which are so essential in building employment in the country. For the human resource function, I see an opportunity and a challenge. The next wave of manufacturing will ride not on cheap labor, but on efficient labor. The purpose of HR will be all about managing money. It is all going to be about value creation. As human resource managers, we will be responsible for value creation and value generation out of human capital assets and investments in human capital. Corporations are becoming cross-national, skills are becoming transnational. Increasingly, we will be called upon to assimilate and manage international workforces. My own perception is that as a people, we are fairly poor at that. We are fairly intolerant of alternate cultures. Our function will have to not only become much more adept at adapting to alternate cultures, but also to create an organization culture which is able to manage and live in boundaryless spaces. I also think that there is something else that's going to happen, which is what I call the rise of the pink. For far too long, we have not pulled our weight to create ecosystems which are inviting of our women colleagues. In a new workforce, we have to pull our weight to not only influence and create an ecosystem which provides space to women to travel the journey along with us, and at the same time without being condescending. As a human resource function, we have to play the leadership role in all of these areas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to me.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite Mr. Sanjay Modi, Managing Director, Monster.com, India, Middle East and Southeast Asia and Hong Kong, and Mr. Yogi Sriram, CHRO, Larsen & Toubro. They're going to be having a fireside chat on trends in global talent acquisition and retention. Is the future of work all about employee experience? Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Modi and for Mr. Sriram.
Sanjay, just wanted to set the context. 2016-17 should be looking up in terms of how the talent market will work. And the first challenge that we are supposed to chat about is the issue of talent acquisition. What is Monster doing, and what do you think should be done in terms of improving acquisition hits?
There are two kinds of consumer, and I can talk because we are a consumer brand. One segment is, are you online? Are you on the digital world? And the second one is, are you not on the digital world? Right? And obviously, most of the people here, and I can say almost all here, would be talking to the audiences who are on the digital landscape today. Now, when we are talking on the digital landscape, what I mean here is that you may not be seeking a job actively, but you are leaving your digital footprint somewhere. So the challenge here is, am I talking to the audience in the screen that they possibly use? Or I'm still believing that the job seeker will come and knock at my door. So do I take my brand to the job seeker, or or the job seeker comes to me. That's the first dilemma, right? And the second one is, what kind of an experience I am giving in the digital landscape.
In the candidate interaction, the interview process, a standard answer, Sanjay, when you ask a person, why have you changed so many jobs? One is, I was there for 8 years, it was enough. Second is, things didn't really work, it was a mistake. Third is, I just got better prospects. So there is this fascination for people to delve for quite a long time into why a candidate wants to leave and why a candidate keeps leaving if he is or she is a frequent job changer.
Basically, the candidate leaving is a 50-50 responsibility.
Yeah.
An organization and an employee both have to take the onus. And if I have to sum it in one word, why an individual leaves, maybe it is because of expectation mismanagement.
What's going to happen in future which is going to make things even more challenging or even more easy?
The value and the culture anchor cannot be dislodged. Whatever you are doing, because we don't know what's going to happen in times to come. Right? There may be newer technologies, newer businesses, newer way of doing businesses will come. Maybe most of the people will start operating from their homes, and still I have to keep them engaged, still I have to get the productivity out. So what do I do? What do I say that I am perceived the same way, and you are such a big conglomerate, lakhs of population, in the same manner across diversity of culture, and the social impacts, etc.
I think the HR needs to play a far greater central role going forward. They have to take ownership much larger than what they are doing today. And if it is becoming a kind of a role of providing a positive customer experience, I would rather say that bring the marketing people in your organization inside the HR function. So let there not be a vendor and a customer relationship in an organization where HR is going to marketing and requesting them to do a couple of things for them. I think the marketing needs to move into HR, and I think then they will have a far more integrated strategy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to welcome our chief guest. To officially welcome our chief guest this evening, we would like to invite on stage Mr. Sudhakar Adappa, founder and CEO, Talent Vouch. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Adappa joins us on stage.
Good evening and welcome. It's a pioneering initiative by the Economic Times. We are happy and proud to associate with the Economic Times HR Excellence Summit 2016. HR is a function that does all the rewards and recognition programs, right? You are the people who are going to drive rewards, recognition, gratification, so on and so forth. So we thought this is the time to actually reward and recognize talent in the HR industry, right? So the organizations and individuals who are going to be felicitated here in this forum have done phenomenal work as HR professionals, as individually, who have been at the forefront of their profession, who've done fantastic work in their organizations and in the country as a whole. And there are a lot of organizations who have done fantastic work in different segments of HR. I would like to welcome Mr. Subhash Desai, Honorable Minister for Industries, Government of Maharashtra. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence. Your presence makes this August gathering an even more prestigious one. Thank you very much. With this, I welcome the Honorable Minister to take it over and do the honors. Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening. I believe that HR is the second name of life. If HR gets developed, life automatically goes ahead and gets developed. We in government are very keen to seriously consider human resources development. That is the key. We have taken initiatives in skill development. And here we need support from the HR professionals. We have enough manpower. In Maharashtra, our population below age of 35 years is 60%. And we need to provide jobs to all these youngsters. Where they will go? They can be engaged in industries. We have taken certain initiatives with active participation of industries. Many industries have adopted our industrial training institutes or ITIs. All my friends who are dealing with HR are now invited to join this mission. Teach one and make him skillful. If all the people engaged in human resources are committed to this cause, I look forward that every young boy or girl will find jobs suitable for him as well as to the industry. And therefore, I appreciate your initiatives and would request you to also concentrate at least part of your time, part of your efforts to the school development of our younger generation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Today, technology is all-pervasive. It's enabling people and businesses to realize their true potential. At the same time, it is also constantly evolving. This means that businesses and their processes need to change in order to stay relevant. People management gains prominence as disruptions and constant innovation are the order of the day. To gain some insight on this, an eminent panel of HR professionals pondered on the topic, Technology in HR. Are we trading off human touch for evolution?
Technology is the reality of life. You can leverage this to your advantage, and that's what we must do. And for HR, there is a significant opportunity because HR by function, by nature, itself is evolving, and the function can gain tremendously if it captures the value out of technology in a speedy manner. That's number one. Number two, not only should we leverage the power of technology, we must also be updating our skills, because the ability to capture value out of technology is dependent upon your ability to enhance your skill of using technology. Number three, the evolution in technology is also very quick. So you must also be able to absorb the changes that are taking place in the technology landscape itself.
We are living in a digital environment, and this digital environment is a reality. You don't really have options. You have the option to be part of the journey and the revolution. You have an option to be a little slow and be a follower. You have an option to be a laggard, or you have an option to be a dinosaur who will be wiped out in the digital world, all right? So that's the reality of the whole thing. And of course, as you're progressing, it's not only about the HR industry getting digitalized and things like that, the entire universe and its entire processes. So we are in this period, which is a wedge where digital technology is bringing about the change. And this is a reality. We have to learn how to include people in the entire journey rather than ensuring that they're excluded out of it.
Now joined by Sudhakar Radappa from Talent Vouch. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
I want to start off by asking you, how do you think curating and even analyzing data really helps industries going forward?
If you look at technology, technology is permeating all aspects of life. HR is not an exception. So technology has changed the way analytics have worked, and the kind of information that you can derive from the data which is available is humongous. Which is making hiring very effective, and hiring with a lot of predictability that is coming in. So analytics is the next big wave in the HR tech recruitment.
There are several interesting trends emerging. What, according to you, are the big trends to watch out for?
If you look at our company Talent Vouch, Talent Vouch is the first of its kind crowdsourced referral driven hiring platform, which is a tech enabled platform where we are trying to transform a person's social database, their LinkedIn and their social networks, to help them find a better job. So that, I believe, is the next big thing, in the HR tech. If you look at referrals, referrals is the most potent medium of recruitment. But in a sense, it's not being leveraged to its fullest of its potential. We believe referral hiring or crowdsourced referral-driven hiring is the next big thing in the HR technology.
It is indeed interesting to talk about technology since it's an important part of Talent Vouch. But according to you, how is it helpful in the recruitment process?
If you look at people's social profiles these days, people have a lot of network and people have a lot of knowledge and network in place. There are a lot of candidates, where probably their friends can help them get a good job by leveraging technology. Now, if you look at a candidate, if I ask someone, an employee, to refer, probably a candidate may not be at the top of the mind recall. But if technology can help them to understand that there is a fitment, if there is a guy who is there, and if he fits into the profile, it's a great level player in providing an opportunity for them.
What do you think is the relevance of events like the ET HR Excellence Award?
Forums like this bring the HR fraternity together to reward and recognize talent and excellent practices in the HR industry. Because HR as an industry drives the rewards and recognition, but very less recognized. So it is forums like this, and it's a great platform for the whole HR industry to come together to share the best practices and also reward and recognize talent.
Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing all these valuable insights. Very grateful for your time.
Please get your hands together once again for our chief guest for the evening, Honorable Minister for Industries, Government of Maharashtra, Shri Subhash Rajaram Desai. I would like to request Mr. Deepak Lamba, and I would also like to request Mr. Ned Modi, Country Head and Director, Parkedia Commercial Mortgage, to join us on stage. We are going to be now going in for the felicitations. There are organizations and individuals who have contributed in the field of human resources and talent acquisition practices. These are the people who have made immense difference in the field, and we would like to compliment them for their outstanding work. Ladies and gentlemen, we will start off with the individuals first in alphabetical order. We would like to invite on stage Mr. Ajaybir Singh Bakshi, Director, HR, Vodafone Shared Services for HR Leadership. Our next awardee, we have Mr. Ajay Kumar, Head HR, Continental Technical India Center. And next, we call on stage Ajit Kumar Balakrishna, SVP HR SLK Group. The next recognition is for Transformational Leader. We have Mr. Manoj Biswas, Global Head HR L&T Infotech. And finally, in this section, ladies and gentlemen, for HR Leadership and Talent Acquisition, we would like to call on stage Rohit Jam, Senior Director, Talent Acquisition at AON Hewitt. And with that, we would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Ned Modi for joining us on stage. Thank you very much, sir. We would like to invite Mr. Adappa to hand over the next set of awards along with our dignitaries on stage. Now, the next set of awards is for outstanding contribution to the field of human resources. In fact, the award has been won by Mr. Rajiv Dubey, President, Human Resources, Mahindra and Mahindra, but he could not be present with us. So on behalf of Mr. Dubey, we would like to invite on stage Mr. Nurani Naushad, Vice President, Leadership Development Group, Human Resources. We now would like to call upon Sudhanshu Tripathi, Group President, Human Resources, Hinduja Group. We now move on to the organizations. These organizations are being felicitated in various categories, and we start off by welcoming on stage AGS Transact Technologies Limited. Now this is in the talent management category. The learning and development category, we have Indus Towers. So can we have the next team coming on stage? This is for recruitment practices. Ladies and gentlemen, Ericsson India Private Limited. And with that, we would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Adappa for joining us on stage. Thank you very much, sir. We would now like to invite on stage Mr. Sanjay Modi to hand over the next set of awards. The next award is for recruitment practices. And ladies and gentlemen, Barclays Technology Center. Do we have a representative from Barclays? I guess not. So we move on, ladies and gentlemen. And again, with recruitment practices, we have Citibank. Our next winner on stage is Reliance Jio. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, for learning and development, we have Mahindra Finance. We have one more coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and this felicitation is in talent management. And this goes out to HCL Technologies. And with that, we would like to thank you for joining us. Thank you.